Journalist and blogger Vladimir Zolkin reported that the chief of the Russian General Staff, Valery Gerasimov, has begun firing generals responsible for the failures in the Pokrovsk direction. He wrote about this on his Telegram channel. According to Zolkin, the head of the Russian General Staff is panicking and searching for someone to blame for the failed offensive and his own lies to Russian dictator Vladimir Putin. Gerasimov is frantically searching for someone to blame for the failures and his own lies to Putin about everyone being defeated, captured and surrounded. The generals' heads are rolling, Zolkin wrote. According to him, Lieutenant General S. Milchakov, commander of the 51st Army, was dismissed for failing to fulfill offensive objectives. Major General Viktor Kindeyev was appointed acting commander. Colonel Naimushin, commander of the 132nd Separate Motorized Rifle Brigade, was also dismissed due to significant personnel losses. Whether Gerasimov himself will be removed is unknown. In some ways, this liar even benefits us, the journalist wrote. A few days ago, Putin, after listening to Gerasimov's false report, publicly declared that the Russian army had allegedly surrounded Pokrovsk. The dictator even began inviting foreign journalists to Pokrovsk to convince themselves of the encirclement. However, no encirclement exists. Ukrainian military journalists, OSINT analysts, and even Z-bloggers unanimously confirm that the Ukrainian Defense Forces are not encircled and that their logistics haven't even been cut off. In essence, Gerasimov, in order to justify his failures to the Kremlin, invented a non-existent encirclement and painted Putin in an extremely ridiculous light. Apparently, Gerasimov is now trying to salvage his own reputation by purging his subordinates and eliminating those who failed to make his lies reality. There, the Kremlin's protégé in the occupied part of Donetsk Oblast, Denis Pushilin, posted a video from the Pokrovsk direction. German journalist Julian Repka geolocated the video. Pushilin is in Ocheretino, 32 kilometers from Pokrovsk. As the saying goes, don't let foreign journalists into Pokrovsk while you're drinking juice in your own neighborhood. The influential B. Orr writes about this. Repka also reports that the Ukrainian Defense Forces have cleared Rodinsky and shows footage from there. Russians are bombing positions that were still under their control on October the 26th. Rodinsky is the northern flank of the Pokrovsk-Milnorad agglomeration and the main road to Milnorad. Losing control of Rodinsky complicates the Russian group's encirclement of Pokrovsk from the north, although there is a small gut from Krasny Liman toward the road, so it's too early to talk about the threat from the north being removed. In general, if you look at Repka's map, it is quite optimistic, despite the fact that Repka is a well-known alarmist. As for Pokrovsk itself, Deep State confirms the continued infiltration of Russian troops into the city from the south and records the expansion of the Grey Zone. But again, this is about sabotage and reconnaissance operations, not full-fledged control, let alone encirclement of an entire city. Although, according to Deep State, the occupiers are beginning to settle in Pokrovsk, establishing strongholds and positions for drone pilots. The highest military command has arrived in the Pokrovsk area and taken control of the situation. We are now seeing a decision to deploy various special forces units to clear the city of the enemy who have amassed hundreds of infantry. However, there are no decisions yet on blocking enemy infiltration in the south of the city, says Deep State. P.S. There are also rumors that Gerasimov has removed Lieutenant General Sergei Milchakov from his post as commander of the 51st Combined Arms Army of the Russian Armed Forces, appointing Major General Viktor Kindeyev as acting commander and dismissing Major General Sergei Naimushin, commander of the 132nd Motorized Rifle Brigade. We are awaiting confirmation. This isn't surprising, as the 51st OVA was responsible for the failed offensive on the Dobropilya salient, which the Ukrainian Defense Forces cut off and are continuing to clear.
U.S. President Donald Trump on Saturday said he's ordered the Pentagon to begin planning for potential military action in Nigeria as he stepped up his allegations that the government is failing to rein in the persecution of Christians in the West African country. According to Associated Press, the president also warned that he will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria. If the Nigerian government continues to allow the killing of Christians, the USA will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria, and may very well go into that now disgraced country, guns a-blazing, to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities, Trump posted on social media. I am hereby instructing our Department of War to prepare for possible action. If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet, just like the terrorist thugs attack our cherished Christians. Asked by reporters Sunday on Air Force One whether that could mean sending U.S. troops into the country, or striking Nigeria from the air, Trump was non-committal. Could be, he said. They're killing the Christians and killing them in very large numbers. We're not going to allow that to happen. Trump's warning came after Nigeria's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu earlier on Saturday pushed back on Trump announcing a day earlier that he was designating the West African country a country of particular concern for allegedly failing to rein in the persecution of Christians. In a social media statement on Saturday, Tinubu said that the characterization of Nigeria as a religiously intolerant country does not reflect the national reality. Religious freedom and tolerance have been a core tenet of our collective identity and shall always remain so, Tinubu said. Nigeria opposes religious persecution and does not encourage it. Nigeria is a country with constitutional guarantees to protect citizens of all faiths.
On Nigeria, just wanted to ask you, do you envisage US boots on the ground?
Could be. I mean, a lot of things I envisage, a lot of things. They're killing record numbers of Christians in Nigeria. And they have other countries very bad also. You know that part of the world, very bad. They're killing the Christians and killing them in very large numbers. We're not going to allow that to happen. Russian assets.
On the frozen Russian assets. So what are you planning to do?
It's just a totally different question than Nigeria, so, right?
Different.
That was quite a turn. I'm not doing that. What happens is, I guess, Europe and Russia are having discussions. I'm not involved in those discussions.
Will your administration provide Ukraine with long-range Tomahawk missiles? Is that something that you're not considering that?
No, not really.
Mr. President, on Friday?
Could happen. I could change, but at this moment, I'm not. There's no final straw. Sometimes you have to let it fight out, and they're fighting it out, and it's been a tough war for Putin. He's lost a lot of soldiers, maybe 1 million. That's a lot of soldiers. And it's been tough for Ukraine. It's been tough with both. Sometimes you have to let it, just get poured out. We have, I've settled 8 wars. I thought that one would be easier than some of the ones we settled. I feel very badly. I mean, it's a terrible thing that's happened to the family. That's been a tragic situation. And it's too bad. I mean, I feel badly for the family. I've spoken to them. What about it?